They blew it. Blew it. Trillions wasted. Wasted. Billions wasted. Starbucks, Google, and Amazon failed entrepreneur experiments that made a ton of money for their investors. Failures long term in the marketplace. Just saying this surprises people, but you all know it's true. Listen to the founders of those companies. Howard Schultz. He went to Italy and he discovered cafes. I went to France and I discovered cafes. It's great. And he brought it to the United States and he bought a little company called Starbucks, Pacific Northwest, and he turned it into Starbucks. Once great. He blew it. He knows it too. Amazon, same thing. Listen to Jeff Bezos right now. We got to go back to our roots. It's not going to work, Jeff. You blew it. Amazon, horrible company. You blew it. I'm going to explain why. And an alternative, I'm going to provide an alternative to technology founder mode. It doesn't work. It blew it. Tons of money. Blew the company. Google, same thing. The Google guys, Larry and Sergey. It was once great company. Blew it. You let the financial people take over. Why? Timing. It's changed. The world has changed since then. They didn't have to do that. They wouldn't have to do this today. I feel for them. I feel their pain. Sergey, back from the South Pacific and the submarine experiments and whatever he's doing. Get back to work, Google. Oh my God. Company's falling apart. We need more money for the AI. What did they do wrong? And how can we not make the mistakes they made? That's what I'm asking myself all the time. And as I got into flexible founder mode and realized how it works and piloting things and trying things, I realized what they'd done wrong and how to do it differently. It's about resourcefulness over resources. That's how they started. They get back to their roots, but you can't go back. That era is dead. That era of let's hustle and make it happen, dead. It's an old way. Entrepreneur, old way. Technology founder mode. So what does this mean? There's financial founder mode and technology founder mode. It's kind of the same thing, but there's different sides of it. So let's talk first about Starbucks. What happened? Why did it go wrong? He needed money. And he took it. It went public. What happens? The financial people take over the company. It's turned into McDonald's. What would have happened if he hadn't taken money? It would be awesome. Starbucks would be awesome. It would be more profitable. It would be more fun. It would be neighborhood anchored. It would have formed community. People would be hanging out there all day long reading books and talking to each other. Like my coffee shops that I go to where I live. I hate Starbucks. When I have a choice, I have great coffee shops right where I live, the hangouts. They're awesome. One doesn't allow laptops, so people hang around and talk to each other. It's full. He blew it, and he knows it. Frustrating. Same with Amazon. Where did Amazon go wrong? Dynamic pricing and over efficiency and not caring or ever learning how the retail business works. He never learned. They never learned as a company. Why? They took money. Too much. Why? Because they had to. We're in a different era. Everything was expensive back then. It's not anymore. So Jeff Bezos, brilliant. The store that sells everything. Now it's the store that's annoying. Sells everything. It sells everything and it's annoying. Why? Dynamic pricing. What is dynamic pricing? It's Amazon trying to make as much profit in sales as possible from us. In a bad user experience now. It was a great user experience. Why is it bad? Customer service is horrible. The technology's even bad. John Mackey sold them Whole Foods. He's probably regretting it. They ruined the company. They ruined Whole Foods. It was great. It was a great store. Everybody made fun of it, called it Whole Paychecks. You didn't see the private label. They changed. They evolved. It was a great company. Destroyed it. My neighbor worked there. She downsized from she was an attorney, and she downsized, and she ran the wine and cheese department. She loved wine and cheese. So did everyone who worked for her. They talked about wine and cheese with their customers. Now Starbucks, Whole Foods are just running around stocking shelves as fast as possible. Why? Because Amazon blew it. Because the people want money. The investors. Who doesn't? Everyone wants money. It's not the point. The founder wants to see their vision blossom, expand, and grow in the marketplace and realize its potential. It's too late for these companies because the financial people have got their claws in it. Same with Google. Google was fantastic. They solved the internet problem of where's all the good information. They used what's called wisdom of crowds. How'd they do it? Brilliance. Resourcefulness over resources. Spam call. It's hilarious. I'm talking, we have a spam call on my all day long. Spam, automated spam. Exactly. So what did Larry Page do? PageRank. What does that really mean? It's an automated voting system about quality. It's done. It's over. And then they had the little ads. They're adorable, and the top and the side. It was great in the industry years ago. I worked for a bid optimization company to help them compete on Google because it was the costs were inflating. Everyone's gaming the organic results, which is the free stuff. It's not free anymore. And then you got the little ads. It was great. Now look at it. It's a train wreck. And what it leads to is the worst possible service providers because they have the most money to game the wisdom. There's no wisdom of crowds. It's gone. These people are smart. They know it. I know they know it. Do they care? They've got to care because those visions come from your imagination as an entrepreneur, and it's painful to bring that into the world. How did they do it? Resourcefulness. How did Sergey and Larry do it? They built their own servers, cheap. They learned how, they're brilliant. Took money. It's over. Why'd they take money? They had to. You don't have to anymore. You can take money today, but who do you take it from? I know. The Medici family. That's who you take money from. Don't take money from Sequoia Capital. Don't take money from Andreessen Horowitz, and don't take money from public markets unless you absolutely have to. Because you have no choice. And today you have a choice. Get a patron or a couple of them. Medici, Lorenzo de Medici, he'll fund it for you. There's a million people like this. And their kids too. We got a couple generations now, and it's like, what are you going to do for a living? It's like, well, maybe I'll write a movie, or like, you have no talent. You just have $100 million. What do you care about? Well, I like wine and cheese. Perfect. You can fund my wine and cheese business, and you get to participate. You'll be our domain expert, and you're going to pay for it. You're our investor. You get first dollar back. We'll give you first dollar back. So you make your money back, and we'll give you a multiple, and we'll give you profit sharing. Done. Lorenzo de Medici is now funding Michelangelo's time in the studio so he can focus on his art. We just did it. We solved the problem. The money people out. Don't let them in. You don't need them. Resourcefulness over resources. This is what's going on today. This is the change. Flexible founder mode. Vision moves the market, not the money people. We don't need them. Private equity, VCs, public markets. Fuck you. Now, if you need it, take it. But most of us don't. They did back then. I don't blame any of these people for giving up on their vision. They didn't have a choice, I think, or it would be too small. It's like, no, I want to make billions of dollars. You can make billions of dollars, I'm convinced, without letting these people into your business. It's called creative product appropriation. You took my dream and my vision and you turned it into a product to make you money. Screw you. You don't need more software capital or followers today. You need resourcefulness. It's the ability to generate traction using your inner genius, your story, and your team's shared desire. Technology founder mode, Steve Jobs era. I plant the flag in the ground, follow me up the hill, destroy your life. Don't put your family first, be a part of the vision, and we'll all make money. Old model. Flexible founder mode. Let's go together. Let's sit in a circle. Let's figure it out. We'll all make money. Don't follow my vision. Let's put our desire together. Resourcefulness comes from the group working together. That's the ability to gain traction, use inner genius and the genius of the group. I don't have to do anything I don't want to do anymore. I do hard things every day. That's different. I want to do that. But I've got mentors for everything, peers, partners. We change roles all the time. We talked about it today in Brian's Invincibility Dojo. My story, I found my own story. I didn't even know my own story. I was telling myself lies about myself. I could spend 2 years figuring out my own story. And then find the team's shared desire, mission, vision, values. What's the team's shared desire? Not mine. I know my vision. Now I know their visions. Every single person in our group has a different vision. I'm bringing 24 founders into this. I'm not paying anybody anything. We're doing it together. Why are they doing it? They get a piece of it. And we don't have to take money because we don't need anything. We have all the resources we need. Team shared desire is inner power, inner genius realized in the world. Flexible founders build from essence. They use less and create more. Instead of chasing tools, they attract opportunity. And when I say tool, I mean both kinds. Tools with money, private equity douchebags, and venture capital assholes, and public market confused analysts that don't understand what's going on with entrepreneur vision. Get them out of the room. It's too late. Once they're in, you can't get them out. It's like a virus. It's like mint planting. My mother planted mint in the backyard. It took over like a weed. My job was weeding, gardening, cutting the lawn, cleaning the gutters when I was a kid. My middle school job, one of them. I had a million jobs, but that was one of them. Mint is a weed. They're like a weed, these people. Don't let them in your company. Instead of chasing tools or working for tools, flexible founders attract opportunities. We attract opportunities together. Power of the group. It's not socialism. We're going to make money. Resourcefulness is the invisible edge behind every magnetic brand. What was the invisible edge at Starbucks? I want to create a great coffee shop like in Italy. He did. And then the money people ruined it. Now they're trying to revive it. It's too late. It's McDonald's for coffee. It's too late. You can't revive it. The marketing department can't fix this. It's not going to work. Amazon, same thing. Gaming the algorithm endlessly to eke profit out of that thing is destroyed any feeling of goodness in my relationship with anything that comes from Amazon and that company. I can't stand Amazon. We got it out of our lives. We cut it out. We have alternatives for everything from Amazon. We don't go to Whole Foods anymore either. We go to Trader Joe's and then Thrive Market, Grove. There's a couple other places. We're done. We don't have to go to Amazon anymore. I don't even like their TV stuff because you got to pay. You go down, I want to watch something. And I got to pay for this, Can't stand that company. Same with Google. I use Google as little as possible because I know the information's gamed marketing. and I got to sign in, and then they're following me around their ad network. Oh, don't forget to sign in and share your location with us. Yeah, so you can use my data to serve up more crap. Um, resourcefulness avoids that. Um, Occam's razor. Occam's razor. The simplest way is the right way. When you get to the simplest way, you're down to principles and you don't need money anymore. You may need a patron who writes you a big check, but isn't doing it because they want more money from the check. They want an investment return, yes, and they should get it. Who is an epitome of this in our economy? Who figured this out a long time ago? Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger. The company's called Berkshire Hathaway. They do the opposite of everything everyone else in the financial industry does. And I saw a thing on LinkedIn news. Warren Buffett does it again. I'm like, aren't you listening? How many years have they been talking about this? Nobody's listening. I'm like, you guys are going to fall behind. Everybody's like, oh my God, what's going on? Well, this is what's going on. When does Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger decide to buy a company? When it makes sense. Simple. So here's 5 things you can do right away to get started in this. First, define your resource edge. What do you create easily that others can't? And no, you will not succeed alone. If you know your resource edge and what do you create easily that others can't, and you're doing that, your people will show up. You'll make sense to each other. If you are visible and you're out meeting people in a way you like meeting people, that's important. You can't hide in the corner. You got to get out there somehow, but you find a way you love doing it. The resourcefulness comes from inside. If you have a vision, you have every resource inside you immediately now to fulfill that vision in the world. It can't be otherwise. There is nothing I think that I can't do, or I wouldn't be thinking it. It always works. It can't not work. It's a built-in package. If I want to be something or do something, I will be and do that thing. 1, define your resource edge. 2, stop doing what you're supposed to and double down on what feels inevitable. The minute I have a supposed to, it's wrong. I'm supposed to go network. No. I went to a first networking event in a long time on a Zoom call. I just don't do Zoom calls anymore. I want to be on our campus, the video metaverse. And I did a Zoom call because Mike Ashbaner asked me to go. And it was fun. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. And people wanted to meet with me. And I'm like, sure, you can meet with me. Here's my link. Everybody's sending me their Zoom links to schedule. I'm like, I don't do that anymore. And I talked to Mike and he's like, you should meet these 3 people. And I'm like, great, make an introduction. I'll meet them. I want to meet people. I just don't want to go network anymore. I've been to 50,004 networking events. And that's just since the pandemic. So I'm not doing it anymore because I don't want to. I'm supposed to when I start feeling fear and concern. And then I get out of my zone. Double down on what feels inevitable. That's where you should focus. 3rd, design your offer ecosystem around flow, not force. This is key with flexible founder mode. Alex Hormozy's book on offers is idiotic. And that whole approach makes no sense at all. It doesn't work because it's forced offers. It's not an offer. That's a marketing angle. An offer is an offer. What does offer mean? I'm offering you my consciousness. I'm offering you my experience. I'm offering you something that's useful for you. A seat at the table with me and our group. That's the opposite of Offers, the book Offers by Alex Hormozy, which is a stupid book. I'm just going to say it. Design your offer. Let's call it 2.0. Stupid's harsh. Stupid is as stupid does. That guy's not stupid. He's brilliant. Amazing guy. Amazing. Stupid as a stupid does. It's not an immutable condition. It's possible to evolve. He's evolving quickly. And I think he's going to evolve past that stuff and just say, I'm done. Because it's force, it's not flow. Design your offer ecosystem around flow. It comes from inside. My offer is Google, Larry and Sergey. Google, look, it's just a little bar. Occam's razor. The simplest way is the way. Everyone else, Yahoo and MySpace, I'm like, oh my God, keep the marketing people out of here. The force people, they're screwing up the product. The internet was the product. Google figured out the internet. They made it great. So did Mark Andreessen, and then he turned into a banker. Put him on Time Magazine and a little king hat on him, and he believes he's a genius. Reverse engineer your story into your product design. That is Adam Gordon. Adam Gordon just joined as a founding ambassador. I've known Adam for years. And he hired my company. And I met him when I was just getting into starting before I started Call Sales Partners, working for somebody else for a year. I wanted to be a partner with him, and he said no. And I started my own company, competed against him. And Adam and his wife ended up hiring me, and I did not solicit them. And I got him a deal. And we've been kind of connected ever since. And reverse engineer your story into your product design. So Adam's going to teach a group or run a group on story, not marketing bullshit stories. It's not Donald Miller stuff. We're not doing that. That's 2.0, Donald Miller stuff. Reverse engineer your story. How do you find your story? That's Brian and I are going to help teach that. How to find your story. Find your story. What's your life history? Your story. That's inner work. Reverse engineer it into your product design. That's what I did. Collaborate with people who thrive in your same energetic rhythm. How do you do that? You got to get into an energetic rhythm. Then you don't have to force anything anymore. Now you're building from essence using flexible founder mode, which is not my approach. It's an Occam's razor approach, which just means simplicity. I think of it as the law of least effort. So Occam, they're talking about it 14th century, I think, or 1400 as what do you call it? The law of parsimony. But it's law of least effort, really. I think it's the same thing. Law of least effort. It's supposed to be easy when you're in your energetic rhythm, and then other people who are doing that too find each other. When you lead this way, you stop measuring growth in metrics alone. The financial people cannot handle that because they can't see the vision. Remember Field of Dreams? Remember, Ray, you're going to go bankrupt. I'm going to have to foreclose on the farm. And Ray's like, yeah, you're getting in the way. The financial person in the room's ruining everything. And then he saw it. His brother-in-law saw it. He says, I see the field, Ray. I see the field. I'm like, finally. Ray's like, finally you get what I'm doing with my entrepreneur vision, plowing up this cornfield, and all the farmers are yelling at him. This is exactly how it works in the market. 90% of the people are going to look at you and be like, stop it. The farmers in Field of Dreams. And then you're going to have a banker in there saying, you're going to go bankrupt. Ray's like, no, I'm good. And then the daughter. This is all story to explain reality to people in the culture. It's just designed as a way to make it understandable. That's how story works. You could tell this story 500 different ways because it's based on anchored in Occam's razor, simplicity, reality, archetypal reality, energetic reality. The young girl has the answer. I know. We'll sell tickets. We got the business model now. Now you don't need to take money. Ray doesn't have to take money to finish his baseball park in Iowa. You just put up a billboard and sell tickets. We're finished. Then you don't have to measure growth in metrics alone. At a certain point, you measure metrics. Now I'm measuring metrics. I did a plan. Now we're looking at goals, objectives, action plans, how we're going to do it, but it's still in flow, or I call it fluidity. But um, we're tracking alignment, flow, and momentum. That's when business becomes movement. Now I don't have to force it. You'll be shocked how much you already have when you stop assuming you need more. Shocked. The the nature of human beings is so vast. You have unlimited potential. People have been talking about this for years, and people aren't listening. They're saying it, and I hear it on social media all the time. I look at the quotes and I'm like, you don't understand it because you're not doing it. You have to do it to understand. Understanding is one thing. That's stage one. Stage two is knowing how it works. You become sort of an expert in it. Third is knowingness of it, which is doing it every day. Deepak Chopra, what is it? The 7 Laws, or I got the book here. It's great. The law of potentiality. In other words, I have unlimited potential. Everybody talks about it. A lot of people read that book. A lot of people follow him. He would say the same. Do it. You have to do it. If you're an entrepreneur, careful. You don't need more software capital or followers, because now we're in popularity founder mode, which is the most followers wins. You got to be seen. You got to be visible. How do you get there? Resourcefulness, the ability to generate traction using your inner genius, your story, and your team's shared desire. That's how. Flexible founder mode is about building from essence. We use less and create more. If Howard Schultz with Starbucks, if Jeff Bezos with Amazon, and if Larry and Sergey with Google had their way, those companies would be brilliant today, world-changing impact instead of what they are. They're basically extraction mechanisms to pull money out of the marketplace and put it in investors' pockets, including them, of course. But they'd have just as much money, and they'd have a great company. But they took shortcuts because they had to, I think. I don't know if you could have done it. Today you can do it. That was a long time ago. 2.0, technology founder mode, we needed it. Now we're past it. Flexible founder mode 3.0. When I heard founder mode, Brian Chesky, Airbnb, did this big rant, and I started looking into founder mode, and I was like, point one in founder mode, step one in founder mode. You know what it is? Go to an Ivy League school and meet other smart top people. Balloons. I went into screw you mode immediately. I'm like, no, that's wrong. And I wrote an article about it immediately. I'm like, you guys don't understand at all in Silicon Valley. You just think it's about money, valuations, fake valuations, getting people to buy into your bullshit story, giving you a ton of money, and then waiting and putting pressure on the business until it makes everybody as much money as possible so you can buy an island. That's their model. It's great not to have to do that. And they made a mistake. It's okay because they didn't have a choice. At that time, it cost a lot of money to do all these things. And what did it lead to? A cluster, a huge mess, but a nice infrastructure of technology that now we're trying to figure out how to make sense of because it's such a mess. And, these companies are just compete against them. Your flexible founder mode, you're going to carve out a nice niche. How big does it need to be? It'll be as big as it will. It's as big as it's supposed to be. Starbucks was supposed to be big. It's Luisa Jovanovic, who's running our Purpose Clarity session, told me, she says, you have a big income potential. And I'm like, I know, I've always felt that. It just hasn't exploded yet. But I feel it. Jeff Bezos, same. Larry and Sergey, same. Because they have an impact play. Not everybody does. What's your potential? 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 grand, $1 million a month? That's a nice micro business. Micro businesses, I think they cap it around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 million in annual revenue. You can do that at an 85, 90, 95% net profit margin today. But you can't do it by copying the methods, popularity, founder mode. It's what I'm talking about is, you need your inner resourcefulness. You need your inner genius. You need your story, and you need your team's shared desire right now. Vision moves the market. This is what's